Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, SBRN is coming live to you from the hills of East Tennessee. Race number 2 in the round 8 for Full Send Racing Series. Douglas Hoop, what is going on? It's going to be a wild one tonight. I hope y'all are ready. We got about 5 minutes left of practice. So we figured we'd shoot it early just a little bit, just for the fact that we can go over how these points have broke down. Well, let's make it easy. Richard is not going to be with me tonight, but I have got Mr. Joe Robert going to be with me tonight in the booth. Joe, how you feeling this heat we've got?
It's looking pretty good, and I'm looking at the what are you talking like the heat for the race or the heat in real life, bro?
Well, both of us. It's going to be pretty hot tonight.
Well, you know what? It's pretty hot out, but it's not bad where I am. I have the luxury of being in the north. Um, but in terms of the playoffs, Chris Stitz is safe. He won last week. So, looking at the other guys that are in here, there's 8 people left. Andrew Menlin, he is pretty much safe. As long as he pretty much starts today, he's going to be fine. Brandon Pierce, he's going to be fine as well, as long as he doesn't have a catastrophic day. The main guys we're looking at that I think are going to have a realistic shot at this are Cole Shetty, Travis Start, Trey Jackson, and Cameron Sarton. Chris Essery, the only way I think he's going to win this, get into the playoffs, is by a win. But you know, I'd say even Cole, he'd have to be worried about the guys that are 5, 6, 7, and 8th because he's probably not going to get past Pierce unless he has a really bad day. So there's going to be a lot of people that are hungry, fighting for a win to get into the final round at Homestead, I believe. What track are we going to be at?
The final one, we're going to be at Charlotte.
Charlotte.
So changing it up, not what everybody's used to. It ain't the Phoenix and all of that. They like doing it different.
Charlotte is a pretty good track for the trucks. Personally, I'm not a big fan of mile and a halfs, but this should be a very Bristol esque kind of race. I expect there to be not a lot of give and a whole lot of take because there's a lot of guys who are going to be very hungry to get a win today. Last chance. If this is a race you're going to win, this is the second most important race of the year to win.
Yeah, there's a lot riding on this. And, you said Chris Estrie. Him and Cameron Sarton, man, they racked up the wins the whole season. And these two right here, they're pretty much almost in no man's land, a win to get in. So I'm going to be watching to see Cameron and Chris going pretty heavy at it just to get that win. And then you don't know. Stitz may just want to make everybody fight in for points and take another win.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Chris has nothing to lose here, so go for it. Get those playoff points racked up, and that would be the best strategy for Chris Stitz. So I think that he's probably not going to be given a lot either, and maybe there's somebody that he may think that he's able to beat at Charlotte. That if he gets a chance maybe to see him get a win and knock out somebody like a Cole Shetty, who he may not be as comfortable, competing against in the Final Four, maybe he'll give him a little more edge or a little more forgiveness than say a Cole Shetty.
Yeah,
Because if anyone wins, Cole Shetty's going to be the one that's getting knocked out.
yeah, and Cole's pretty much about that. He's on that bubble. He's one of those that's in it to win it too. So I mean, you've got everybody that's setting 2 through 7 in the points that the 4 through 8. They've been strong all season long, but they've missed a race. I believe Estrie missed last week. That put a big hurt on them. But it's going to come down to who's got a truck left and can hop across the start finish line and drop 200 laps.
Oh yeah, because you're not going to leave this place with at least a little bit of damage. But honestly, the only places I'm feeling safe in points are 1 through 3. Because Chris Essery could win the race, for example, and mess everything up. So we'll see what will happen tonight. But looking at the times, it's all relatively close. Doug Pierce, who's currently timed in at ninth, is 14.98. We just got another 9.484 was by Cameron Sarton. But only 2 tenths separating the top 10, so it's going to be a competitive field tonight. Cole Shetty right now is on top of practice right now with a 14.816.
He may be a surprise one. He may come in and he may just never know. I mean, it's going to be interesting, and it's I hate to see the temperature of everybody's attitude tonight. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of not give a damns thrown out the window in about the last 10 laps if they're in a place to win.
Oh, definitely. And just looking at the practice, there's 8 playoff drivers. Cole, Cameron, Andrew, Trey. You know, there's there's 4 playoff drivers in the top 5 right now in practice, and all those guys have to win to get in because due to how the points are, you can't really rely on your points back there. But it is time to get started on qualifying, and going to be focusing on the playoff drivers a little bit. So Cole Shetty's going to be the first one to take time in that 42 Ford in the Red Dog.
I was just informed. It's going to get real interesting. Miss Rita Evans, she's been here all week or all season. Chris Essery will not be making the race tonight.
Well, that is one less person that some people have to deal with, I guess. I mean, Chris Essery, big challenger all the time. So it's going to be a shame that he's not going to be able to compete for the championship because, he is one of the guys that is definitely capable of doing that. So unfortunate, but fortunate for everybody else that has to deal with it because it's one less guy you have to worry about. Cole clocks in first fastest, 15.06. And Charles Dugal is also clocked in second fastest. He is way slower, though, almost 4 tenths off.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But Miss Rita, we hope everything's good with them, and hopefully, we'll get to see them host up a trophy near future some other.
Yes, to that. All right, so Dylan Glass put in time. He is second fastest now, 14.87. Right now we got Brandon Pierce taking time. Cross the line. He's about to be about halfway down the back straightaway. Not too great on his first time around. Second time around, he will not improve. We actually do have a tie, though, for first place between Cole Shetty and Cameron Sarton. Both ran a 14.79. So they are on point. Cole was just 400ths faster than Cameron.
I'm going to tell you, since Essery's not going to be here, I'd look for Sarton to be making a heavy run towards the front. If not, try to get the win for this race so he's locked in.
Well, obviously, I mean, that's what he needs to do. Where he is in the points, he's probably not going to make it with a good points day. So Cameron Sarton needs to get that win. But Cole Shetty's going to have to make sure that Cameron can't or Trey Jackson can't because if they win, he's out unless Brandon Pierce has a absolutely horrendous day. Now he's qualified 8th. He's not the fastest in the world, but I think even if he just has an incident-free race and can bring it home top 10, he'll be fine. But top 4 of 5 are in the playoffs. We got Cole Shetty who's sat in 4th, Cameron Sarton who's sat in 7th, Trey Jackson's in 5th in points, and Andrew Medlin is 2nd in points. And Andrew Medlin's the only guy in there that I would say is a safe bet. So looking at everyone else in the points, Brandon Pierce, he's in 8th, and Travis Dart is slowest right now. He is right now clocked in 12th. So Travis Dart, he's on that bubble too. As long as someone doesn't win and he can have a good points day, he might be able to sneak his way in there.
I'll tell you, one that I pulled for a lot this season, and he's sitting in third position right now, is Trey Jackson. I mean, he's been right there on the edge of getting a win, and what better way to top over that iceberg, a race that it matters here at the playoffs, locks you into the championship four.
Trey Jackson, he was really close in Nashville on that fuel run. He almost had that, but unfortunately for him, there was one more guy ahead of him that was on the same strategy. But we are about to finish up qualifying. We got 13 people taking time, and it looks like 5 sat out qualifying. That would be Patrick Hasty, Ken Campbell, Doug Pierce, Brian Brochet, and Douglas Hooper.
Ken
But it is
Campbell,
time.
he's running in the, um, he's on the box for Chris Stitz. So
All right. Well, it is time to get going. Gonna let a few people clock in to the lineup, and we'll get the starting lineup taken care of. All right. Starting first in the number 42 Red Dog Ford, it is going to be Cole Shetty. And he is someone that we definitely are hoping that he's hoping that he can win a race today to get into the points. Second place is going to be Cameron Sarton in the number 24 Chevrolet. And if you're not locked in, well, sorry, we're not going to be reading off your sponsor. Third is going to be Trey Jackson in the Pennzoil 31 number 31 Chevrolet, and Dylan Glass is going to be in the number 16 Pepsi Ford. Starting in fifth is going to be Andrew Medlin in the Special Olympics Toyota number 12, and starting in sixth is going to be Nate Lynch in the Reg Customs number 25 Chevy. Starting in seventh is going to be Chris Stitz in the Acayana Virginia Chevrolet, car number 22. And Ryan Lynch is going to be starting in eighth in the number 2. Sam Siegel is going to be starting in ninth in the Hendrick Cars, the number 48 Chevrolet. And in 10th is going to be Brandon Pierce in the Stint Analyzers Ford, number 38. What do you got for the rest of the field there, Jeremy?
11th, we're going to have Charles Hugel. 12th is a fan favorite out there, Miss Rita Evans's pick, Philip Chavez. In the 6th, we're going to have one of the only 2 Toyotas out in the field, and that's going to be Travis Dart. Starting in 14th, that's going to be Patrick Hasty, and then Napa knows how if he can get a win. In the 16th spot, going to have Brian Burchett in that 4 in that Jags Custom. I bet you see him up towards the front here in a few more. Looks like Doug Pierce. I'm pretty sure he's crew chiefing. And just in case, does not look like he logged in.
All right. Well, that is going to be that. And we're getting moving right now. 2 pace laps around Bristol Motor Speedway. So, who is your pick for tonight? Who do you think has it?
I'm going to have to go with Stark. I'd love to see Trey Jackson in there. I hope he gets in there just for the fact that he's been battling it all season to get that win. But Cameron Sart's won a lot, and he's in a bad position right now with points.
I'm going to go with Cole Shetty. Guy in 4th position in points right now. I think he might have it to hold him off tonight, but we shall see about that. 1 to go until we get green for the second to last race of Full Send. And I haven't been here for every single race here, but it's been fun running the races that I have with y'all. So, don't know if I'll be here for the championship race, but it's a lot of fun commentating on Full Send. So, cannot wait to get this race started.
Yeah, especially these guys. They don't have too many cautions, so.
I've seen that last time we were here, though. There was a ton of cautions, but yeah, we were on the dirt. All right, we're coming down 200 lap for Bristol, one of the fastest half miles in the world. Green flag is out, and Cole Shetty does not get a good start, and Cameron Sarton's going to have that high side. The high side's always, I'd say, pretty better here. So Cameron Sarton gets out to the good lead, and Cole is probably going to get passed by the 16 as well. and it looks like he'll just maybe try to slot in the third and not be forced on the bottom. But Cameron's starting out to a good jump along with Dylan Glass, and Dylan Glass is going to look for the pass on the bottom, and he will take the lead going into 2. Jeremy.
Andrew Mellon just got it loose going in 1 and 2. Those tires was not warmed up yet to be driving the way he wants to drive. So that's going to put him back in that second pack. It's running from about 7th and back. As their top 6 are starting to break away, and right there on the end of that is that 22 that is locked in. So he may just be chilling right there for a little bit. But Dylan Glass he's broke out quick.
Dylan Glass was very good in practice, but I did not expect him to break out this fast. Now, he could be going on a not so friendly tire strategy, so that is definitely a possibility. He is clocking 4/10 a lap faster than Cameron Sarton. So I'm wondering, is he going to be wearing out maybe in 20 laps? We shall see, but right now, Dylan Glass is flying right now.
Yeah, I ain't seen a jump any this whole season by anybody as big as that was. It may have been a checkup that we missed that he wasn't in, but you know what? He's putting on the clinic right now for 7 laps. It's been all that Pepsi.
Well, Pepsi is pretty good, but man, I'm wondering, when is the stages, by the way? Because we were never told about the stages.
Our stages are going to be at lap 65.
65, that's the only one?
That's it.
All right, well, we got one stage at lap 65, so I think that they'll be able to run a complete cycle around this. I don't think they'll have to come down the pits beforehand, so they should be able to run pretty fine without that, without needing to put under caution. So I'm thinking, if a caution comes out, when are you comfortable pitting?
You know what, Bristol? It's hard. You want to get tires. Sure, you can make your gas stretch a little bit further, and that may be what Dylan Glass was planning on doing, getting far enough jump and maximizing his gas where he can let off a little bit sooner than everybody else.
Now, Bristol, I've not really run these in the trucks. I've run it in Cup, and I'll tell you, Cup is a much different beast than the trucks. But it's also a different line as well. The Cup cars would be running way, way up high, but he's running a more middle-low line. So Dylan Glass is finally starting to fall off a bit. He is now running even with Cameron Sarton, so that could either be Cameron just saving it a little bit or Dylan just starting to fall off. But we are 14 laps in, and the gap is pretty large right now. Cameron is almost 2.5 behind Dylan Glass.
And they're already coming up on the lap traffic, Philip Chavez, which I don't think he got a good start on that. But he may just be taking his time on this track. Bristol's not an easy one to tame.
One driver I am seeing that is making some good moves, that would be Brian Berchet. He is currently up what looks like 4 positions right now. He's making moves on Travis Dart, trying to make the moves on the bottom. And problem with the bottom running this and trying to pass on it is you're not able to get as good of a run. You got to really enter it in low, not an optimal entry. And the way you rotate the car, the way you come out of the corner, it just does not work that much because you can get such a great run off the high side. So bottom line, definitely what it seems to be the optimal line right now, but not to pass. To pass, it seems more on the high side because Berchet's doing really well, but he was just not able to pass Travis Dart on the bottom.
Dart's one of those ones who's trying to get in on a win because he's sitting in the 6th in points. So it's all tossed up. I mean, you'd have to really sit down and do the math of every possible angle to figure out how this is going to break down.
Well, one thing I am noticing right now is looks like Dylan Glass has fallen off a little bit, and Sarton is slowly reeling him in. He's not reeling him in by much. but he's making some good ground. Chris Stitz also is up 3 positions. He's a guy, he's safe, but, why not make a run at those playoff points so you're safer when it comes down to the championship race? He's guaranteed in it, so Chris Stitz, maybe it's even better. You can maybe figure out, hey, I don't want Cameron Sarton in this race, so we don't want Cameron to win, because if Cameron wins, he's going to make it a whole lot harder for him in that championship race.
Yeah, he's one of the ones I'd be really watching.
Yeah, one person I would be paying attention to is Trey Jackson. Trey Jackson, I wouldn't say he's someone that's going to light up the field every night, but he's someone that is very consistent. And, maybe a consistent driver you'd want to compete in against the championship because he's going to run well. But I don't think he's someone that you're going to have to worry about running away from either. But Chris Stitz is on the hunt right now, and he's getting, right now, sold up by a lap car. That is going to be Chris Stitz blinking out. Yeah, right now he's working on Chavez, who is in 16th, 1 lap down.
That had to really scare Trey Jackson and Nate Lynch both there. He just completely disappeared for a half a track.
Yeah, no one ever likes to deal with the blinker. Blinker is never easy to deal with, but we are 26 laps into this race, and Dylan was able to get out to about a 2.5 second lead when we got this going, and it was only about 15 laps that it took to get out to that. It's been cut down now to 2 seconds even, but it is helpful though that Cole is going to be trying to make the moves on Cameron Sarton, because what Sarton is doing is he's running that high line, getting those really good runs off the corner, and I think if he can get side by side with Cameron, I think he should easily be able to pass him. And I think running that high line, you're also to save tires just a little bit better. You're not cranking your wheel as much, I would say. But if you want to save, you can also go down low and it goes slow. But that's not really beneficial to keeping position. But doing those cut downs like you're seeing, that's definitely going to get yourself burnt a little bit.
Now, running through your top 8, as far as playoff wise, you've got Chris Stitz, who's running pretty comfortably. I mean, he does not even have to finish this race, and he is in. But like you said, playoff points are going to be handy. You've got Andrew Medlin, who has just got passed by Ryan Lynch, who's running back, and well, him and Lynch are fighting in the 8th and 9th position. Then you've got Brandon Pierce, who's right in front of them, running in the 7th, and Cole is right there in 3rd on Cameron. So them right there, they're spread out pretty good. But then you got Travis Trey. Both of them are having a pretty good run. Travis not probably having the run he's wanting to right now. Andrew definitely ain't. But Sarton's in a real good position right now to get locked into that next round.
He is, but just remember that, Medlin doesn't need to have a good race. He pretty much just had to show up today and he's in, so yeah, it would be helpful to get those playoff points, but he does have more playoff points than anybody else. So that's very beneficial to Andrew at least. So I'd say Andrew, don't have to really worry about him. He can just kind of mail this race in, which wouldn't be the best playoff points wise, but it is not the worst idea if you're not trying too hard, or a track that you don't really know, you don't want to get like a penalty or something like that would cause your championship race to be messed up. But right now, Cameron Sarton is closing in on Dylan Glass at about a 10th a lap, and it does not help the fact for Dylan that he is dealing with some lap cars. Maybe Dylan was a little bit too fast on the button, and he is getting caught rather quickly trying to deal with that lap car. The lap car that he is trying to deal with right now is Patrick Hasty. And just cannot get by him. He's trying low, but you can see how bad that low line is, especially with worn tires. He's not able to get around him, even though, oh no, car in the wall, and that is a 35. Almost took out the 9. That would have been tragic for the 16, but Doug Pierce is up against the wall, and just stay up there, bud. A lot of damage to that 35 car. Or a 39 car. Got a lot of right side damage. The rear is crunched in. But we got a 3 wide battle almost for the second spot. Cole Shetty's going to slide it under the 9 car, and that 9 car is not making it easy to get around, but Cole is going to get past Cameron in the process.
I'll tell you what, Joe, I thought there for a minute they was fixing to put it 3 wide, and that takes some real driving to hold it steady 3 wide on this track, especially the lines all over was running and the speed we're at.
Well, the lap cars probably scared Dylan Glass for just a moment there, but they turned out to be a friend of him because it allowed Cole and Cameron to have to back off a little bit. So here is the time where my theory is going to see if it's going to work or not, because Dylan Glass is obviously on, I'd say, more worn tires than Cole and Cameron. So when they get up to him, it does not look like Dylan is going to give up that top. So we'll see if they're able to make that pass on the bottom, because I think it's going to be really challenging if he can hold that top as firm as he is right now.
Yeah, and they caught up with them a little bit on that lap traffic, but I mean they've been sitting steady about 30 seconds behind it, and it looks like Dylan's having to let off a little bit sooner going into the turn. As I'm watching Shetty's times, it's closing on him real quick, and I think we could have us a dog fight up here in the front.
Yeah, it could be. Cole is going for the lead right now. Dylan has led all 45 laps so far today, but he's going to be slamming it into the bottom, but does not have that room to come off and get the run. I think he has the better tires, and that's going to allow him to get that, but it's definitely not going to be easy for him. Got to be patient. Nearly chopped off the 16's nose. I think that could have maybe waited a lap, but it looks like Dylan's going to fall back to third. Cameron's not going to be moving on with him, and Andrew Medlin is at risk of going a lap down. He was battling side by side with Sam Siegel, but Andrew Medlin is about to get caught, and I don't know if he wants to be going a lap down here. But what he could do is maybe block somebody that maybe doesn't want in the playoffs, but looks like he's going to let them all by just fine.
Yeah, but he's going to make him take that high side. He's not going to make it easy for him.
I'd say giving him the high side will make it easy for him. But Sam Siegel is the next to be a lap down in the 12th position right now. It's going to take a while for anyone else to get there. So Sam Siegel may be in the best spot right now, considering with how many laps there are to go. Only about 16 laps to go before the stage ends. So it's going to be a real challenge for them to get up to Brian Berchet, who is almost a half a straightaway ahead. Actually, more than that.
Yeah, but you've got the leader's car now. They're having to deal with the 48 of Sam Siegel.
You know, I was wondering what Chris Stitz went, by the way. He's in 7th place now, so he's definitely fallen off a bit. Maybe running a little bit too hard, but yeah, Chris Stitz was up to 4th. But someone who is in 4th now, Trey Jackson in that Pennzoil machine, he is running pretty fast right now. He is running 15.9 still, and the leaders are in the 16.2. So Trey Jackson has saved tremendously, and I think he might have an opportunity to get the lead with only about 13 laps to go on the stage.
That last lap when they all clocked in, him and Chavez both were sub 16 on the time. They were the only ones that was there. So they're making moves, and I'd love to see Trey get the win. I mean, I'm going to be partial on it. Pulling for Cameron, but love to see Trey get it.
Got a two-way battle for the lead. It's going to be Cole Shetty and Cameron Sutton. Cameron looking on the inside, and just not able to get the run off the bottom. It looks like that high side is able to just pull away so much better. But if you're able to get enough space, you can make that inside work. But it's going to tear up your tires a lot more. So you can't be affording to sit on that bottom side for too long. And also, Cameron, I would not say he's making as much use of the space that he's being given as he should be, but something that Trey Jackson likes, he likes these two running side by side, because now it makes it easier for him to get up towards them. Brandon Pierce is going to be inserting his way into this battle for third. We got a three-way battle for third. It's going to be Pierce, Glass, and Jackson.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, Glass jumped it too quick. He might have been wanting a caution. Hopefully it'll lead some laps, but he's falling like a boat anchor as he's going back to fifth.
Three-wide battle almost between a lap car, but it's still going to be Shetty, who is going to get edged out at the line just slightly by Cameron Sarton. And I don't know. You see, look at this. Cameron is able to get pretty far out there, but Cole is just running it so much better off the corner. I think Cole should be able to have it if he can just hang on the high side and doesn't make a mistake. But you can see he just gained so much time. He gained almost a car length just off of a few laps. One car down on the apron. That's going to be Doug Pierce. Brian Berchet got in the fourth, but he's a little bit off the wall. So should be okay. Excuse me, he's the 4 car. He's in 12th position. My mistake. But Trey Jackson still battling for third with Brandon Pierce. Same deal with Trey Jackson on the high side.
Yeah, Trey and Brandon, about the last 5 laps, man, they've been going at it hard. And I'm gonna tell you what, that battle when we come down to the stage between Cole and Cameron, it's going to be interesting because they both are going to be wanting some playoff points.
Yes, sir. But right now, I'm not sure if playoff points are really going to make that big of a difference between these two, because Cole's in a position now where he should be okay in points as long as Cameron doesn't win the race. But it's going to be definitely a big fight, and I would not say this fight is going to be. This fight right now is going to be half of what we'll see later on in the race if this is for the playoffs. Coming down to 1 to go on the stage, and Cameron's going to be making one last final shot at Cole. Going down to the bottom for the final time, but the 42 is just able to run so much better off the high side. And it looks like Cole is going to win this stage. Going to beat him out by about a 1 truck length, and Cole Shetty is going to win the stage. Waiting on that caution. I guess we are going 1 extra lap, but he'll win regardless.
It usually drops down after about the field makes it around 1 time. So, and then again, they may be waiting.
Yeah, we might be, but still no caution. There we go. We got the caution now, and Philip Chavez is going to be the lucky dog.
I'm going to say right there, Trey Jackson, he put on a pretty good showing all the way up to 3rd.
Actually, it looks like Philip Chavez was clocked in past him, so it looks like Brian Berchet is actually going to be the lucky dog. And Philip Chavez has stopped, so I guess he wasn't supposed to pass him. So, all right, coming down pit road for the first time today, lap 67. Let's see who can win the race off of pit road. Expect 4 tires and a whole lot of gas. Pretty even stop for both Cole and Cameron. Cameron, I think, just got in a tiny bit sooner, but I think that Cole should be able to get out just fine considering where the line is. And, yep.
Ooh, almost had him.
Position is maintained. All right, we got Iris and 13 in the chat rooting for the 24. Let's go. Let's go, Medlin, Dusty Dog. All right. Hello, everybody in the Twitch chat. All right, looking at the points. Right now, Cole has definitely put himself into a better position. Brandon Pierce needs a good day. He's having a good day right now. He's in 4th. Travis Start, nowhere to be found. He is in 9th. And it looks like Trey Jackson, who definitely needs to get in on points if he's not going to win. He's in a good position right now. But with Cole having that kind of stage, unless Cole really falls off of this race, Trey Jackson needs to get that thing up to the front.
Yeah, Trey's got the skill in the truck to do it. It's just got to be at the right place at the right time, especially with having Cole and Cameron and Brandon all around you.
Dylan Glass, not fighting for anything, was 17th in points, and Brandon Pierce hits pit road again. I wonder why.
While we're looking at that, we're going to give a shout out to Lap Traffic Podcast. They have been one of the sponsors this whole series, and that is who 24 of Cameron Staunton is driving for.
Want more NASCAR content? For all the latest in NASCAR, including driver interviews, race recaps, fantasy NASCAR, listener call-in shows, and awesome giveaways, tune in to the Lap Traffic Podcast on iTunes, Podbean, or your favorite hosting site with new shows every Tuesday night. Check out Lap Traffic on the web, thelaptrafficpodcast.com, and follow on Twitter at LapTrafficPC. Don't get caught chasing the lucky dog. Tune in each and every week to the Lap Traffic Podcast. See ya!
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Bristol. Under caution for the first time today, lap 71 at 200. All right, Dylan Glass. You know, he was a guy that definitely got out to a run in a hurry last time out, but I think he has winning speed. He just needs to dial it in a little bit on the first part of the race. Cole Shetty's going to lead him down, and we are back green. Cole gets a great start, and he will instantly get to the good line, and Cole Shetty's going to get up to first. But Dylan Glass, again, just absolutely flying on the restart. He's already made his way up to second, and it looks like he's just going to blaze his way right past the 42 of Cole Shetty. I don't know what Dylan Glass is doing. Is he dropping lead or something? Because he is flying off these restarts.
I don't know, but you know, with that being said, his truck's only good for about 20 laps. And it pretty much, well, about 25, 30, and it pretty much just drops down.
I mean, I can see maybe perhaps just, you know, wanting to get out that lead and, you know, making the truck go fast. But you got to save, because if you're going to get out to that sort of lead, you know, he sees what happened last time. So maybe what he's hoping for is, you know, a caution will come out maybe in 30, 40 laps. But you can't always bank on that. So we'll see what happens. But if he's going to fly like this with disregard to his tires, I'm not sure. But Dylan Glass is currently clocking in about a tenth faster right now.
Yeah.
I think he might be a little easier though right now.
Yeah, but you've got Medlin who's trying to work his way through it. He's about 4 cars out from the leader. He's going to have to get that lap back the hard way. But you know, if Dylan Glass picks up a win here, that's going to completely shift up anybody other than Stitz getting in on a win. So everybody's going to have to be praying for points on this one.
Yeah, right now, points-wise, Cole is definitely the guy that people are most worried about. You know, Cole's leading the race. He's led a good amount of the laps today. I'm not sure if he's led the most, but he's on track to do that. Maybe if Dylan Glass will get maybe back in the second sooner. But yeah, I think Dylan has led the most today so far. So Cole's been in first or second all day. He's definitely somebody you got to worry about. Keep in mind with Medlin, though, if he is running fast like Glass is, you know, we know these guys are capable, but you got to save your tires, especially with these long runs. So Medlin's just hoping that he can be in a good position if a caution comes out. Single file, pretty much everywhere. No real battles for any positions. It looks like we got Charles Hugel going to be making the pass on Nate Lynch. Nate Lynch really checked up on the top side. Just had no speed coming off of that corner whatsoever. So that'll put Charles Hugel in that sun-kissed number 30 up into the 8th spot. You know, Travis Start, we weren't really talking about him either. You know, he just kind of sat back, you know, not really paying attention to him. He's up 9 spots right now. He's in 4th. And he's going to be looking to make some moves on Cameron Sarton. And Cameron Sarton's definitely a guy he does not want up in the front. We have a caution. Chris Stitz is crashing.
That's got a few in it. Don't look like none of the playoff drivers fighting was involved. Ryan Lynch is already...
Oh, no, he got in the dart. I mean, no, he got into the 31. He got into Trey Jackson.
Let's hope that Jackson did not suffer any.
Oh, he definitely did. Definitely not as bad a damage, but yeah, looking at right here, what's going to happen is Stitz is going to be trying to make a challenge for the position. He gets on the inside, and then he just gets loose, corrects it, and right into Jackson, and he's right in the field, and he just gets absolutely hammered. So I'm going to take a look and see who hit him. He just gets absolutely nailed by the two. Had nowhere to go, and then the 101 gets right into him as well. So, not what he wanted to see, but Chris Stitz, lucky for him, he is in on a win.
Yeah,
But I can't
that's
imagine Trey Jackson's too happy about that, especially with a car that is in on a win, wrecking you like that. But Trey Jackson is going to throw on some new tires, probably. We're about 20 laps into a run, so 20 lap tires going to be a slight advantage. But luckily for Trey, I believe he'll still be on the lead lap.
that could have been a whole lot worse for Trey the way it did, the way he Chris did. It looks like the truck just got loose, and you saw it caught traction. He just T-boned him in the side. But Jackson was able to keep it off of the wall for the most part, so that could have been a whole lot worse for him than what it actually was damage-wise.
Well, someone that is happy about that caution coming out, going to be Andrew Medlin, because he is going to be put back on the lead lap now. So Andrew Medlin had to muscle his way up there, but he is going to be back on the lead lap. A few cars down pit road. We got Hasty and Berchet. Stitz is going to be one lap down off of that, and it looks like Lynch and maybe Chavez too will be a lap down. Actually, no, Chavez is in 5th. I'm actually surprised about that because he went right through the 2-car.
That's one of those times when net code saves you.
All right. Well, we're going to be coming down to 2 to go. Actually, 1 to go on this caution. So we're going to see how Dylan Glass goes from the starter position. He's going to be on the inside. Cole Shetty going to be in 2nd. Now, here's something that Cole's probably happy about. Cameron's in 6th right now, and you got Travis Dart, though. I don't know if you want him up there because he's another playoff driver. And you got Brandon Pierce right behind him, too. So you got 2 playoff drivers. If you want to kind of win, why not Brandon Pierce if you're at least Cole? Because, Brandon's pretty much guaranteed in anyway. You're not going to pass him, so let's see what happens. Still got over halfway left in the race. Still in Glass, great start. And Cole did not get such a great start. Neither did Travis Dart. I don't know if Travis Dart is going to be able to get down there, though. Remember, it's just so hard to pass on the bottom. So I think Travis's best idea maybe just to slot in the line and get going. He does slow down a little bit going in the line, so that's going to allow the front 2 to break away pretty fast. Jeremy? Jeremy?
Fighting with Cameron and Brandon and Travis Dart, they all 3 are taking it 3 wide, but they easing out, and Pierce is going to come out ahead, but that Dart and starting right now, either one of them's giving each other any room whatsoever, and that's going to allow Andrew Medlin to start sneaking into that top 5.
Travis is definitely being pretty easy on his truck right now, just waiting to see what comes to him and maybe make those passes later on, because he's not really making too much of a challenge though. But Andrew Medlin, who is 1 lap down, look at him, he's already fighting his way up to 5th position. He's gained quite a few spots. Now granted, yeah, he's on new tires, so he's able to get a little bit faster, maybe abuse him a little bit more than some of these other guys are. But Andrew Medlin, he might be challenging for the lead, and he's a guy now that you may be thinking, well, maybe he didn't have much of a chance, but maybe he has a chance to take that win. And you wouldn't mind if you're Cole Shetty because he's in 2nd.
Well, looking at the times, it don't look like Dylan or Cole, either one of them took tires. So it's going to be interesting to see if that's going to play into a factor.
Well, we know that they can last over 65 laps. on a tank of fuel. So I'm thinking maybe there's one more pit stop if there is green flags throughout. So I'm thinking we got green on lap 70. So I'm thinking if we're pitting, my strategy here is going to be trying to pit around lap 140. Maybe with a caution coming out, maybe you'll extend that maybe 5 laps just because of the tires, but I'd expect people to start pitting around lap 40, 145. But maybe if there's somebody who maybe doesn't have the speed for the win, I can see them definitely trying to extend that because you can go down 2 laps pretty much on a pit stop, and yeah, you'll be a lot faster than the guy, but if a caution comes out, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah, Pierce he's in a good position point wise, but right now that truck's fighting against him as he just lost to Cameron and Andrew both got by him pretty easy.
Yeah, Travis is just taking it easy right now, which makes sense if you've been seeing that the guys are capable of a long run, only 1 caution that's come out in 100 laps. We're halfway through, so not a bad idea from Travis Dart, especially maybe if he's trying to keep it on the track just a little bit longer. But Travis right now is the highest mover. He is up 7 spots, so he started 13th. He's in 6th.
How much longer do you think it's going to be before Cole catches up with Dylan? I mean, he's running pretty fast times.
Well, here's what I will do. I will see their time difference. Right now, they're running pretty even. So, I would say 30, maybe 20 laps. Remember, Bristol, you click off laps, 4 times a minute. So, with them running even times, I think Cole's going to get there eventually, but I don't see him passing for at least 20 laps. Dylan is actually a little bit faster on that last lap, so I think Cole will be able to get him, but it's definitely going to take some time, especially with how the gap is. Not as much as it was last time, but it's still a second and a half. That's not a small gap, especially on Bristol.
No, that's a half a turn, if that.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it right now, pretty much Glass is at the apex when the 42 of Shetty is going into 3. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, Nicole is whittling him down, but not as fast as he'd probably like to.
But you've seen 2 rounds of it. You've seen Dylan Glass break away, and then you see his truck start falling off. And, that's probably in the back of Cole's head where, well, I ain't got to chase him down. I'll let him burn his tires up, and he'll come to me.
Now I'm thinking Glass is maybe like, well, maybe I'm not that good at saving the tires, so I just got to get the position while I can get it and hope the cards fall in my favor.
We left in Vegas, and only one that had a lucky card was Stitz, so I don't know how it's going to work over here in Bristol.
Well, Stitz is pushing a little bit. He is trying to get back up there. He's a lap down, so he'll try to be in that lucky dog position. But one person we're going to pay attention to is Trey Jackson. Did not reset his car, so that is definitely interesting. I'm not sure if he is suffering from the damage on that. That's making him go slower. I mean, granted, he did have to start farther back in the pack, but he just does not seem to have the speed that he did earlier. And we have one car down pit road. That is going to be Ryan Lynch for a pit stop. Same with Doug Pierce.
Looking at the lap times, I don't think his truck's suffering too much. He's still able to put down a 15:58, and the leaders are running 15:69s and 48s. So I mean, he's not too bad off the pace.
Well, he could be saving up. It looks like that's what he was maybe doing. Saving. I mean, maybe hardcore saving right now, but he is in 8th right now, 6 seconds back. I mean, 6 seconds, that is a load of work to do. So Cole has whittled down the leader down to a half a second, and he's lucky enough that he's also got 3/4 of a second on Cameron. So that's good for Cole. He knows he's reeling in a guy that's going slow, and he also knows he's getting away from a guy who he knows cannot win today. He does not want him to win today. If he wins, he's out of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Luckily, Travis is pretty good at getting the points done towards the end before we go off the air, and I'm pretty sure we'll have the final four set before this broadcast is over tonight.
Well, one thing that we also got to pay attention to is Andrew Medlin. You know, Andrew Medlin's pretty much safe. So if he wins, Shetty doesn't have to win to get in the playoffs then, because Medlin, he is second, and second by a good margin. He's going to be in the playoffs whether he wins or not. So I'm pretty sure that's something that Cole is maybe happy that is in his rear view, because, I'm not sure if you want to see him in there when it comes down to the championship race, but right now you're pretty happy to see Medlin challenging Sarton. He's not quite up there, he's only a half second back, but I'm pretty sure he'll be able to get up to him.
Shetty just took the lead from Dylan, and you was pretty close on your laps. He got him at 120. Now it looks like the rest of Sarton, Medlin, and Pierce is looking to put Dylan another position down.
Yeah, I think Dylan's just being a little rough on his tires, but maybe he's not confident in saving with a long-run car, because, if you do try to save, if you are not particularly great at saving, what actually can happen is you can end up going slower, but you're still going to lose time anyway. So he's maybe doing what he's comfortable with at Bristol, but Cole has a 7/10 of the lead on Sarton, and it does not look like it is really moving anywhere. So that can all be made up in just the pits. But right now, Cole has a 7/10 lead. Medlin's fallen off a little bit. He's now second behind Sarton. Dylan Glass down to third, and Medlin should be up to Glass in a couple laps. But Medlin does seem to be falling off just a little bit, may have been pushing a little hard, and I'm actually surprised about that, because I could have sworn Medlin got tires on that caution. Maybe a case of pushing too hard.
Yeah, we're running through the field right now. It looks like everybody's pretty much calmed down. The track's pretty evenly spread out. Closest thing you've really got going on, that's going to be Chris Ditz and Ryan Lynch. But Lynch is quite a few laps down, so that's not really a battle that Chris is too much worried about.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, he's still a lap down, so I'm just hoping, he's pretty much hoping for Lucky Dog at this point, because he's not going to be in a position where he's able to even get up to the front. But right now, Patrick Hasty's the guy that he's got to be worried about, because Hasty is 12 off the leader. He is about a straightaway ahead, and the lapping considerably the same right now about. So he's just hoping that Hasty can keep that up there, but he is dropping about a tenth a lap.
Looks like
So,
about your top 10. Looks like they're pretty much just spread out. So I wouldn't see much of a position change anytime soon unless something drastic happens.
yeah, they're all about a second off each other. Some a little bit more, some a little less. But keep this in mind. Pit stops are probably going to be coming for maybe people that are trying to half and half their strategy. Expect them to come in the next 10 to 15 laps. And, that may seem like a lot, but that's only about 2 to 4 minutes away. So keep that in mind, because I'm thinking if you're somebody who maybe is hurting for tires, you might be going in now. But if you're able to save and can feel that you're, not going to be jeopardized, like when you come out, if there's no caution, maybe you'll stay out a few extra. But I think there might be one guy in there who's thinking, I don't got the speed to win, so maybe hope a caution comes out and we'll put a bunch of people a lap down.
They can do it, like you said, about 63 to 67 on fuel. So I mean, they're right there now. Somebody could pit and stretch it out to the end.
Yeah, because I'm not sure how much they can run on fuel. They ran 65 laps, perfect, no cautions on a tank of fuel. So I'm thinking they can run more. So that is something to keep in mind. But one thing I am also going to keep in mind is the lap times. They're not falling off too bad. So maybe you can survive out there a little bit longer. But right now, Cole and Sarton are gapping third, which is still Dylan Glass. So Dylan Glass managing to keep it going pretty well. But Travis Dart, maybe it's his time to get on the button, because right now Travis Dart is up to 8th right now, and he's making some moves on Trey Jackson. Trey Jackson's been saving 2, so maybe it's time for them to get going. Hugel is in 6th, but looks like Dart is on the apron and sliding in the pit road, just gets through the commitment cone, and Travis Dart is going to be our first guy down pit lane.
I don't really think that might have been a voluntarily pit there, but he made it look like it was, and it looked pretty smooth coming in.
I think it was. Yeah, he was definitely slowing down before, so I think he's fine. But 4 tires on the Dart machine, and he will be good to go to the end. So maybe he'll be able to get something going. Ryan Lynch down pit road as well, but Ryan Lynch has left the game. So no more Ryan Lynch today.
He was sitting in 12th in the round of 12. Didn't make it to the round of 8, but he's put up it all season. He's been in it. Just getting to the round of 12 out of the 32 he started with this season. That's a pretty good feat to have under your belt.
All right, now I'm looking at the lap time. So Travis Dart, he's not going to be running too hard on his tires, because he knows that some of these fast guys still have to pit. Now, if a caution comes out after these guys pit, maybe he'll be able to get those tires on. But Travis Dart's definitely going to be making up time. Even though he's 2 laps down, you'll see that Travis Dart is going to be moving up in positions when everything is done. He's the only person to have pitted so far. So Travis Dart's probably going to be making up a lot of spots that you're not going to see until everything's done with. But he's going to be gaining on the car ahead of him, which is going to be the 16 car, Dylan Glass. So he's pretty much about 4 seconds off the leaders from going 1 lap down, and that would be huge for him at least, because then he wouldn't be stuck 2 laps down.
Well, if you're Travis and you get to this early, how you run your truck? Are you gonna just run it nice and comfortable and save those tires, or are you just gonna try to catch up as much as you can and hope everything does, like you say, fall in your favor?
I mean, there's only been 1 caution for cause, so I'm thinking Travis Dart, he is running pretty well right now. He's gotten 10 laps already on his tires. I'll actually pull up the pit strategy monitor right now. So fix that. All right, so Dart pitted on lap 137, so he's been out there for 11 laps. No one else has pitted. So we've seen, even with 20 lap old tires, that you can fall off, because a lot of guys did pit on that 20 lap part, and Sarton is one of the guys that did pit, and Sarton has just finally made his way up to Cole. So if you can save the tires good enough, I think you'll be okay. So Travis Dart is going to unlap himself. Now he'll only be 1 lap down, but Cameron Sarton's definitely going to be trying to make some moves on Cole before everything gets sorted out.
Yeah, Sarton and Cole, they're going at it pretty heavy. They're both can be in the playoffs off points, but Cameron can't. He's a pretty good far out, but if something happens with Cole and Cameron can win, that could easily bump Travis up, or Travis might sneak in on points.
Lap car 48, Sam Siegel. He is going to be put down 2 laps. Chris Stitz also 1 lap down, but he is not pitted as well. So yeah, Dart pretty early into the pits. So he is, I'd say, in a really good position right now. He's probably going to have the lead when everything's said and done with the pit stops. Not sure how long he'll hold on to the lead, but he should have the lead when everything is said and done because he's been out there for already 15 laps. And you can see he's gapping them pretty hard as well. You know, Travis Dart was just by them, and he's in the middle of the back straightaway. Actually, he's pretty much a straightaway ahead of the leaders, making up tremendous time right now.
It seems like Sarton's eased off this battle a little bit with Cole, is giving him a little bit of space, but he may be setting him up to get a run in or out, and maybe Cole might be letting his guard up for a minute.
I mean, I'd say it's probably in Sarton's best interest to get by him, but you don't want to force the issue either. He did get in the wall just slightly, but not a lot of damage. Should be okay, shouldn't affect the car. But we've now reached the point, you know, Dart has been out for 20 laps on that brand new set of tires. And you got to keep this in mind too. If you pit too late, then Dart's just going to not have to worry about you because he's going to have such a big gain that you're not going to be able to make it up in time, even with brand new tires. So if you're staying out too long, then you're just making it easy for Dart. So don't fall asleep on Dart because he could get into these playoffs with this early pit strategy.
Yeah, if he gets in on win, that's pretty much going to knock Cole out completely.
So they've been out on the same set of tires and fuel for 90 laps right now, and we finally see another car take the bite into the pit lane. That's going to be Andrew Medlin, who was not in a, I would say, great spot, but keep this in mind. Travis Dart just passed him, and he's a lap down, but Medlin's in the pits. So Travis Dart is definitely making up positions, and Andrew Medlin might be a two laps down. Yeah, so he's going to be 2 laps down, and Dart's going to be a lap ahead of him. And Dart is going to be the prospective leader when everything is said and done. Sarton looking again on Cole, but just not able to make that bottom work. That bottom is not the friend of the passers today.
No, and Cameron's giving it all he's got. I mean, we're coming down 38 to go. We know they're going to have to start pitting as we're seeing them. We've already seen Travis go in early, and then we just saw Andrew pit it. So, I mean, these two right here, I think it's going to come down to a pit strategy if somebody don't miss their pit box.
I believe Dylan Glass might be coming down pit road. I saw his little voice thing pop up. So I think Dylan Glass is going to be heading down pit road this time. Yes, he will. Dylan Glass down pit road. Now, Cameron, though, he's really pushing hard right now. And I don't know. I just don't know. If he's going to get by him, he's got to make it go now, because if he's able to get basically ran on with 20 fresher tires, I mean, something's not going to win this race. We saw Cameron Sarton just pass the leaders, so now this will actually give us a good idea of where Sarton is compared to Dart. So Sarton, I'm looking for where Dart is. So Dart is coming out and coming into 3 and 4 right now, and Sarton, he's about a half a track behind him. So we'll see if he's able to make up that gap on Dart. But, you know, these early guys pitting, I'm thinking the early guys pitting might win this race.
I'll tell you what, this battle right here between Cole and Cameron is pretty much something else. But we've got a battle and a half brewing from about 4th through 7th, as these guys are not giving each other no room whatsoever for error.
I mean, I'm thinking here, you know, you got 30 to go. I really doubt that they're going to make it on fuel. I mean, if people are pitting that early, it would make sense. So I don't think they have enough to make it, but, you know, if you're a guy maybe that's getting held up like this, maybe it wouldn't be the worst idea to come and pit. But you can see Trey Jackson's getting a little annoyed at Hugo right now. He just gave him a bump on the side. And if you give him too many bumps, he's going to spin out eventually. But Trey Jackson right now is running a good race, but just not in a position to win and get in. He is 5 seconds behind, but I don't know. I'm still thinking that there is a chance for something to happen. But remember, Glass came down pit road just a few moments ago. He's going to be in 13th behind Medlin.
Well, I tell you, Joe, look, who's coming back up on the leaders again? You got Travis Dart. He's getting his laps back. He's earning that lead lap position.
Yeah, I mean, you've gotten passed twice now by Dart. So these guys, I'd be shaking my boots if I'm seeing a guy that just passed me twice. Because he's back on the lead lap now. Luckily for them, if a caution comes out, though, everybody's still got a pit. So they're hoping a caution's going to come out. But keep this in mind. Travis Dart is going to be the leader by a mile if that does not happen. So you might see Travis Dart in the final four if nothing else happens. I'm really surprised, though, that no one else has came down 24 giving Cole the bumper, but that will just give him a speed boost. I mean, do you think these guys take tires if, they come out with only like 10 to go?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's, Travis, Dart, we've seen his lap times. They're going to be coming into pit eventually, because I don't see him being able to run. What? Well, Cole is definitely going to have to. His last pit stop was on lap 67, and Cameron was on 85. So, the fuel battle right there, Cameron's going to get that fuel battle. But
at this point, you're pretty much like, you're pretty much at a point where it's like you're stuck with your strategy. You got nothing else to really work with. You got your strategy. If your strategy was to stick out for a yellow, you're stuck with that. You're too far in to make a change. So Andrew Medlin is going to get his lap back and is going to be 4 seconds behind Dart. Now, I'm actually going to look at here and look at the times. So Dart is running. Last lap was a 15.79, and last lap for Cole, which is actually this lap, is going to be a 16.39. So Dart is running about half a second faster. I think Dart might have a chance to get up to the front and win the race if a caution does not come out. It's going to be very, very tough, but I think Dart might have a chance, but he's going to have to be on the mark perfectly.
yeah, and I'm telling you right now, who's hoping things change a little bit is Cameron. Cole's going to have to pit, obviously. I don't see him doing 133 laps on one tank. So,
yeah, but here's the thing. If Shetty pits, Sarton is definitely going to be in a position to win the race because he pitted 20 laps after. So I think these guys are going to make it. I think they have enough fuel to make it. Sarton finally gets around Cole, but Dylan Glass coming through as well. Dylan Glass, had nothing really in the fight. Was trying for a win today. He pit a little too late. He will get through, but not going to be for any position. Dart seems to be falling off just a little bit. Just not enough time. He's down 10 seconds. He might be able to squeeze his way into fifth, maybe at best, but I do not think Dart is going to be making any heroic moves today. Was thinking that they weren't going to be able to make it, but I guess I was wrong. Wish I knew. Wish I had a little Larry McReynolds estimate board, but it looks like Cameron Sarton might win this race.
Yeah, and if Shetty does pit, which it looks like he may have to, and Dart's out there, if Dart can finish ahead of Shetty, that's possibly going to knock Cole out of the Final Four.
The way it's looking, I think Cole might get knocked out because Brandon Pierce has had a just fine day. That's all I needed is a fine day. And I think Pierce should be locked in pretty well in the third. So looking at how everything is, they want a caution. I think Dart, he's staying out if a caution comes out.
He's got no choice. I mean, you ain't going to need fuel. We know he's good on fuel. I mean, maybe take 2, but that's going to set you back a
42 just
little bit.
clobbered the wall. Cole just clobbered the wall, and we are coming down to 8 laps to go this time by, and Sarton was giving him a big, long battle, and he is now out 2 full seconds on Cole. And with how the field is spread out, there is not really many fights going on right now. We got Dart underneath Trey Jackson right now. That's going to be for 7th position. Not going to be meaning anything real much, but Travis Dart will take the 7th position, although in the points he is going to be out if everything stays the same.
And it's going to be a terrible way to see Cole in his season if he don't make it into that Final Four.
Looking at the points, that looks like how it's going to be. Andrew Medlin, very safe, and Brandon Pierce, he's in 4th. Even with the stage, I don't think Cole has enough to get past Pierce. He's hoping for a caution. That's all that he can hope for.
Yeah, if Cole can stay in it and make it 4 laps on fuel, he could get
Not
in.
going to be good enough. It's not going to be good enough. Brandon Pierce has improved his position to 3rd. And we are going to see Cameron Sarton, who definitely was one of the fastest guys today. Probably pitting on that only caution for cause was going to be, I'd say that is the move of the race for him to win this race and punch his ticket into the playoffs. Unfortunately, though, for Cole Shetty, the white flag is out. No more chances for cautions. And Cameron Sarton is going to go into the playoffs on a must-win race that will knock Cole Shetty out. So nothing is official yet, but looks like your Final Four is going to be Cameron Sarton, who gets in off a win, Chris Stitz, who also got off a win, and then Andrew Medlin and Brandon Pierce on points. Travis Dart was hoping everyone would have to pit, and he'll finish in 6th. Looking at everything, I think Travis will hang on to 5th in the points. Trey Jackson should hang on to 6th. Well, actually, since Cameron Sarton's up there, they'll actually move down to 6th and 7th. And then Chris Essery in 8th. So Cameron Sarton going to burn it down, and we'll be getting some interviews in just a moment.
Want more NASCAR content? For all the latest in
Yeah,
NASCAR,
right.
including driver interviews, race recaps, fantasy NASCAR, listener call-in shows, and awesome giveaways, tune in to the Lap Traffic Podcast on iTunes, Podbean, or your favorite hosting site with new shows every Tuesday night. Check out Lap Traffic on the web, thelaptrafficpodcast.com, and follow on Twitter at LapTrafficPC. Don't get caught chasing the lucky dog. Tune in each and every week to the Lap Traffic Podcast. See ya!
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
All right, here is the final. Actually, not the final points, but this is what we were looking at. So, yeah, looking how everything is, I don't think Cole Shetty is going to be in it, but Cameron Sarton, your pick, Jeremy. Ran a good race today, didn't he?
Yeah, he missed one, and that just kind of sent him back a little bit. But if Essery would have been here, I'm pretty sure we'd have seen a real good battle between Sarton and Essery. But Sarton locked it in, and the third place finisher, he's barely hanging into the playoffs. If we've got it figured right on this end, like you said, it's going to be Chris, Andrew, Brandon, and Cameron for the championship, but nothing is official. So I'm going to bring up Brandon Pierce, and I'm going to step away and get with Travis Dart and see how everything's looking.
All right, sounds good. I will drag Brandon Pierce up. Brandon, this is Joe in the booth with Jeremy. You got me?
Hey, boys, doing tonight?
We're doing good. You were in a position in the points where you just needed a good race to get in the playoffs, and you got a good race, third place finish. So happy with how everything is. Ready for that championship 4?
Definitely ready. Definitely knew coming in tonight. It was basically if I get a good finish in the first stage, I was in no matter what, given the field size. So after that, had a little bit of freedom to kind of get out there, race some of the guys, but had a lot of fun. Did what we needed to do, and on to Charlotte.
On the Charlotte, do you feel confident for Charlotte against the prospective guys, which would be Chris Stitz, Andrew Medlin, and Cameron Sarton?
3 of those guys that got multiple wins this year, they've all proven to be fast. I think if you look at the last couple races, I tend to be a bit better on my tires than them guys, and it's going to be real important at Charlotte. Tire wears high. If you can keep them under, you're going to be fast at the end. So, going to try to use that to my advantage.
All right. Well, you ran a good race. You did what you needed to do today to get into the playoffs. So, what do you got for your shoutouts?
Just want to shout out, my crew chief, Jeffrey Souza. He's been on the box most of the year, really helping out with, strategy, keeping me calm, keeping me on focus. Triad Racing, the guys put in a ton of work over there. Stint Analyzer, Souza Media, Cold Dead Fingers. Love racing with my pops here on Tuesday nights. Been a lot of fun. You guys for putting on the great broadcast, and the admins for letting us do what we do.
All right. Well, good luck in the championship race, and we'll see if you're able to get the big prize next week.
We're shooting for it. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. Good race today. All right, let's bring up the winner, Cameron Sarton, because we are yet to find Dylan Glass. Well, Cameron, you needed a win today to get in the playoffs for the Final Four, and you got your win. So, how does it feel?
Relieved, for sure. Heck of a battle, and I'm dripping sweat. So it was a lot of fun. Wish I could have been there last week, but Hawaii was a little better. So a lot of fun. Happy to get in. Felt like it was deserved. So and it was fun battling Cole there for a long time. So clean racing, and it was fun.
You took tires on that second caution, yes?
I did.
I was actually surprised you weren't able to get past him sooner. Were you just waiting to see what would happen, just kind of waiting him out?
Yeah, I was kind of chilling. I knew. I mean, me and Cole basically had the same strategy. He's really good here, so we're pretty good about saving tires at the early part of the run. And when I went in, I was only 1% better, or 99 and 98. So I wasn't trying to push very hard early on because you can burn them up, but 2% one lap if you really wanted to take a flying lap. So I was just trying to manage it a little bit. Definitely kind of probably played a role the last 30, 40 for sure, because I didn't push it at all until about then. I was trying to get side by side with them, but kind of set him up, and I think it played a little bit of a role there at the end for sure.
Yeah, you were on him constantly. One guy that I knew was burning his stuff out, but was extremely fast at the start was Dylan Glass. And
Yeah,
I'd be
he
surprised.
DG was flying. Me and Cole were like, oh, yep, there he goes. We're just gonna let him, we're just gonna let him burn it up. So we were just following him and gave him a little self confidence boost. But I was like, oh, I don't know how that's how long that's gonna last there. But
I
he's
mean,
pretty fast on his short runs. I'll give him credit there.
he was lasting pretty well, and I think he would have been a guy to watch out for a win if a caution had came out because
100%.
he pitted on lap 164 and he made his way back up to second in just 35 laps.
Whew.
So that is a pretty big smoker right there. And I think if this race is 10 laps longer, he may have a chance at you. But you got what you came here to do. You got yourself into the championship for. How are you feeling for Charlotte?
I'll be bluntly honest with y'all. I hate Charlotte in this game. I am not good there, so I am definitely not the favorite in my eyes. But we'll see. I'm gonna need to practice a little bit this weekend. I for sure will because I've just never been very good there. So I'm there. I got a chance. That's all I can say. But I wish Travis put a different track, but it's all right.
It was a good battle though because you and Cole were both fighting for the win because pretty much either of you had to win. You had more extenuating circumstances to win, but both of you pretty much needed to win to get in the playoffs. And you were better today, man. So let's get the shout outs.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to mom, dad, grandparents watching. Um, hello. Shout out to y'all again. Haven't talked to y'all in a few weeks, so feels good to be back up here. For putting on and then lap traffic. Got a new episode out, so go check them out. And yeah, woo! Excited. We'll go for it all next week. Hopefully, I don't know what to expect at Charlotte, but we're gonna give it a run.
Well, all we know is that a champion will be crowned at Charlotte, and well, you have a 25% chance theoretically. So
Yes,
good
sir.
luck
Perfect.
there, and we are looking forward to seeing that final race next week.
Absolutely. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and well, we'll see you in a week.
It was definitely a good battle between you and Cole.
Oh
So
yeah.
good job today, and good luck.
Thanks, gents.
All right, Jeremy, have you gotten the updated points?
Yo, it's the points ain't updated, but what the good is, you are locked in with four. Of course, we know Chris Stitz is in. Cameron Sarton is definitely in. Andrew Medlin is in. And Brandon Pierce snuck in. So next week, them four are going to be going after the Full Send Racing Series Championship.
Who do you got next week?
Man, I can tell you what, I've watched these guys all season long battle, and Stitz he may hate me when I say this, but he better bring his A triple plus game with this because Medellin and Sarton, they are going to be a force to reckon with.
So nothing about Brandon Pierce?
He's a sleeper, but I've seen these guys at Charlotte, and it's going to be a Hail Mary pretty much from any of them. But if I was to put odds, I'd have to put my odds probably Sarton.
Martin. Well, if I wasn't to pick Sarton, I'd probably pick Medlin. I know Pierce and Essery. Not Essery. I know Pierce and Stitz are very, very good, but I just don't think they have the consistency of those two. But I do think anybody does have a chance, and all it takes is one mistake, one incident. Everything can get thrown out the window. So anything can happen. Anybody can win, and I look forward to seeing what can happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild next week. It's just a wow. I mean, I hate it's coming to an end, but I am ready to see who's going to be crowned the champion this season.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, anything you want to put before we shut it down? All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching with us today on SBRN for the Full Send Racing Series at Bristol. Cameron Sarton, who needed to win, came out and got one, and that barely got him into the playoffs, but he's in the playoffs for the Final Four. So make sure you tune in next week for Full Send and watch Chris Stitz, Andrew Meadow, and Brandon Pierce and Cameron Sarton fight it out for the championship. Tune in Thursday for the Slingshot Racing League. We're going to be running 87s, the 87 NASCARs this week. Or are they off? We're off. All right. Well, we don't got anything Friday either, so tune in Saturday for Num Thumbs Racing League on ARCA. They're going to be at Southern National Motor Speedway. So, anything from you, Jeremy?
Whole lot of nothing. Everybody just get ready for next week. Place your bets if you can, because it's going to be a barn burner. I can tell you that much.
All right. Well, thank you for having me in here today, Jeremy. And this is Joe Roberts saying goodbye for SBRN. Thank you for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing y'all next week for the championship race at Charlotte for Full Send Racing. Have a good night, everybody.